In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your brochures and window cards in MantisProperty and how you can change various settings to get them looking the way you want. So the first thing that you do is you go into Preferences and then into Brochure and Window Cards. And that then brings up this screen. In here, I'll run through the different settings that you can set for your brochures and window cards. The first thing is your global settings, and this is where you can set your header and footer background and color for the header and footer section of your brochure. If we flick over here to an example brochure, the header is this section up here that has the logo and the basic information, and then the footer is this section down the bottom here that will have your agency name, phone number, and website address. Underneath this, we have the option to select portrait or landscape. Portrait is a typical brochure like this, and then landscape is the wide version of the brochure. The next selection we have is the ability to choose your photo quality. You can either choose standard or high. Standard size is good for if you're generating brochures that you want to email to people because the file sizes are quite small. Whereas if you print your brochures and want high quality ones, then choose the high large file size. Your brochures will be much larger in file size, but it also means that it's using the highest quality images possible so that they print quite well. Underneath this is a tick box to show the agent photos on the window cards and brochures. If we flick over to the brochure here, you'll see on this one, this agency has their photos for their agents. If you don't want photos to appear, you just untick that and it'll just have the name and contact details for your agents. The next box here is you show inspection times. So if you have this ticked, whenever a brochure or a window card is printed, it will show any upcoming inspection times. Most people leave this off by default so that they can put a brochure or a window card in the window or send it out to people. The next section over here is the brochures section. Here, if you tick the automatically generate brochures, then MantisProperty will automatically generate brochures for every listing whenever you add or edit a listing. And the brochures will look similar to this, depending on the settings that you've set on your global settings. Here you also upload the logo that you want to appear at the top of your brochure. Over on the right hand side is your window card section. This is where you can specify the logo that you want to appear on your window card, and you can also specify if you want a basic or a detailed layout of window cards. The difference between the basic and the detailed version is that the basic version does not include any agent details. It will just show the property photos, title, bedrooms, bathrooms, description, that sort of thing, and then just the generic contact details for the actual agency. If you choose detailed, then it will be like your brochures, where it shows the photos and contact details of your agents on the window cards. I'm going to show you another couple of areas that relate to your brochures and window cards too. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is down the bottom here. In the footer of your brochure, you have your agency name, phone number, and website address. You need to make sure that you go into your preferences and then account settings. And in here, you just need to make sure that you have your address, your website, all that sort of stuff set up within here. And that will make sure that that information displays properly on your brochure. The next thing is if we go into an actual listing, and just scroll down here, you have your description. This is the description that's used when feeding out to your website and portals and that sort of thing. And then underneath this is a short description. This is where you can put in a different description to show on your brochures and window cards. So it might be a shorter description or it might have different information if you want. If you leave the short description blank, then your brochures and window cards will automatically just use whatever you have in the description there. And that's it. That's how to set up your brochures and your window cards for MantisProperty.